right. I believe we are live. Hello. Добрий день. Вітаємо, which means welcome in Ukrainian. If Zach, you just want to write in the chat if you can hear and see me, that would be very awesome, just so that I can make sure I'm not speaking into the void. Which it feels a little bit like I am. But I'm so excited for another rendition of Art Kolo. Art Kolo. Okay, what does this mean? Art Kolo. So Kolo means circle. So these are Ukrainian-inspired art workshops. They are our art circle. So I hope that wherever you're joining us from, I hope that you're having a really lovely evening. It is raining and pouring in Edmonton, so I hope wherever you're watching this from, it's not as rainy as it is here. Great! Zach says that everybody can hear me. Awesome! Carmen says, oh, hello, Carmen. Hello, Kais. Hello, Josiah. Hello, Luca. Hello, Daria. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to have so much fun today. So as you might have seen on social media, on Facebook or on Instagram, or even maybe on YouTube, today we are going to be tackling Matrushka dolls. Matrushka, that is a mouthful. Matrushka. And if you can't roll your R's, it's Matrushka. Matrushka. So these are Russian or Ukrainian nesting dolls. And we're going to learn a little bit about them today. And we're going to hear a little story about them. All right, so we already have one of our Matrushka dolls. Awesome. So what is a Matrushka doll? Well, we said it's a nesting doll. What do you think it's nesting? Well, very simple. It's nesting another version of itself. So these dolls, look at that. They stack. So then we can go like that, and then we can go like that, and there we are. And they just keep on going, and some can be really, they could go for 20 dolls, and some can go for 6 or 7. But Matrushka dolls, historically, are a symbol of family, a symbol of simya, or family. So today when we do our craft and we make our very own versions, I want you to think about it, how many family members you have in your family. Because that's maybe how many dolls you're going to make. And it doesn't have to be just your traditional family. It could be your cousins. It could be your best friends from school. So I want you to think about how many. You can count in the room with you right now how many are around you. Okay, so what you're going to need for today, very important. You are going to need a stapler or some tape. Tape works just as well. You are going to need, here's some tape, just as proof. And then you're going to need a piece of paper. So one piece of paper. My paper is a little bit thicker, but you can use normal paper and any color you want. White might be good because then you can color on it. So spoiler alert, you are going to need some markers and or paint. Today we're going to be using markers just because it's a little quicker and a little easier. Daria says, what if you have 37 first cousins? That's going to be a lot of dolls, but I believe in you, Daria. I think you can do it. Okay, what else are we going to need? Okay, so we have our tape, we have our paper, we have our markers. That's actually all we're going to need. It's so easy, you guys. It's so easy. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, so like I said, Matrushka dolls are nesting dolls, or they stand for a symbol of family, so I want you to think about your family. I didn't even introduce myself. We just got right into it this time. I mean, I introduced myself last time, so I don't know, you guys don't need to hear about me blabber. But my name is Sofia, I'm Yaya Sofia, and I am the Ukrainian Program Director of Arts on the Ave. And I want to, right off the hop, thank our lovely Shevchenko Foundation, because without them, we would not be able to do these sorts of programming. I'd love to thank the entire amazing team at Arts on the Ave. They are doing so many things this summer, so make sure you check out artsontheave.org. They're doing online stuff, they're doing in-person stuff, they're doing it all. And make sure you follow us on Instagram, because we've got lots of fun and exciting things, especially these workshops. We've got another 3 online, and we have 3 in person still, or 4 in person still. So on Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m., near the Nina Haggerty Gallery in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, we will be doing free craft activities that are inspired by Ukrainian. So we are going to have a lot of fun. Okay, Sofia, get back on track. I can hear my mom saying, Sofia, stay on task. So we are going to stay on task. We already know, we're already experts on Matrushka dolls, right? We already know that they stand for family. We already know that we're going to be making some of our very own. And we already know the supplies we're going to need in order to do all of those things. But just like last time, we're going to need to hear a story first. Because then we can get our creative juices flowing and we can start thinking about our very own Matrushka dolls that we are going to make. Okay, so let's hear about a big beat. That's right, a big beat. Okay. Once upon a time, in Ukraine, so far away, a mama planted some beet seeds. There's our mama and some beet seeds. Each year, she grew good beets, but this year she was especially proud of one very big beet. She left it in the ground longer than the others and watched with amazement and delight as it grew bigger and bigger. How big do we think it's going to grow? Ooh. Now that is a big beet. Oh my goodness. It grew so big that no one could remember ever having seen a huge beet before. At last it stopped growing, and the mama decided that the time had come to pull it out. She took hold of the leaves of the great big beet and pulled and pulled and pulled. But the beet did not move. So the mama called her daughter Ivana to come and help her. Together they pulled and pulled, but the beet did not move. So Ivana called her sister Daria to come and help. They knew Daria was really strong. So Daria would definitely be able to get it out. So Daria pulled Ivana, Ivana pulled Mama, and Mama pulled the beet. Still, the beet did not move. They thought to themselves, thinking, what can we do? Daria had an idea. Daria thought to call their other sister, Sofia, to come and help. It's pure coincidence that she has the same name as me. So now, Sofia pulled Daria, Daria pulled Ivana, Ivana pulled Mama, and Mama pulled the beet. But the great big beet stayed firmly in the ground. Sofia, with a wave of genius, finally thought to herself, let's call her strong niece Luca to come and help pull the beet. So, Luca finally pulled Sofia Sofia pulled Daria. Daria pulled Ivana. Ivana pulled Mama. And the Mama pulled the beat. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled as hard as they could. Suddenly, the great big beat came out of the ground. And everyone fell over. So now we know how important it is to have a good and strong family and how much we sometimes need to rely on each other. Sometimes when it comes to gardening, other times when it comes to when we're sad. But now we get to see what the Matrushka doll were capable of, which is pretty awesome. Okay, well, enough about those specific Matrushka dolls. Let's look at some other examples. Okay, so we have just to this side of me, that side of me, we have another traditional set. So typically these dolls look like dolls, right? They have the babushka on them, they have the rosy cheeks, but that's not what we're doing today. We are going to take our very own spin on these. So we already thought about how many family members we have, so we already know how many we're going to make, but now what kind do we want to make? We could make our family. That's absolutely what we could do. We could make mama and tata or dad. We could make brachik or brother, sestra or sister. We could make chocha or aunt, vuika or uncle. We could make all of our family members. Or, as you can see here, we could do something a little differently, right? So here, we could do Harry Potter. I know my sisters will maybe want to do that. And down below, like I had mentioned, we could do our own families. Over here, we have cactus. So we could even do plants or objects. They don't even need to be beings. They could just be plants or objects. Okay, and then on this side, am I pointing to the right place? This is very, very difficult. There we go. Then we have some Ukrainian Cossacks. Those are Ukrainian Cossacks. Taras Bulba being one of the most famous Ukrainian Cossacks. So they have mustaches, just like my tata, and they have eyebrows, and they're wearing Ukrainian traditional clothing. So they don't have to be Matrushka dolls. They could be Matrushka Cossacks. They could be Harry Potter. They could be all sorts of things. So what are you going to make? I want you to think about that. Well, I thought about mine. And I really like animals. Specifically, though, my mom used to call me Hadna Ptashka, which means pretty bird. Hadna Ptashka, pretty bird. So I decided I'm going to make some birds. And I have 5 family members, so I'm going to make 5 dolls. Okay. 5 family members, 5 dolls. I know what my theme is. I know this. I'm going to stay on task. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so I can remove our handy dandy green screen. All right, so now we're going to dive into our Matrushka doll making. So you can see me here, and if you need to read my lips, awesome. And then my hands are going to be over here, just like last week. So if you need to see and you're kind of lost at what we're doing, have no fear. Just take a look over here what we're doing. Sound good? Sound good. And you guys can use the chat. I can see everything that's happening in the chat. So if you want to say, Sophia, slow down. We don't know where you are, what step you're on, you can do that most definitely. We are going to start off with our pieces of paper. And if you don't want to do this craft right now, you don't have to do this craft right now. You could do it later. This video is going to be on YouTube. So if you don't have a piece of paper in front of you, no worries, but make sure you take notes. Okay, how will I do this for next time when I have a piece of paper? So we have our piece of paper. We are now going to fold our piece of paper hot dog way or the long way. So I'm going to take that And I am going to fold it that way. There we go. So easy. So it's just like that, just like a hot dog. Okay. Now, before I said we might need some markers today, so you can use any color markers you want. But I'm going to use black because then it's going to be really obvious what I'm doing. So now that we have folded our pieces of paper lengthwise or hot dog way, we are going to take a line from this corner right in that corner, so right here, right there, and we are going to draw a line diagonally all the way down to the next corner right there, all the way down to this corner. All right, and if you're confused, don't worry, I'm going to do it right now and then I'll be sure to show you. Okay. See, and I even did a little wiggly jiggly there, but we're not super concerned about that. We're not worried about that because perfect art is really boring. We're not about perfect art in Art Kolo. That's all I can say. So we have made our line. Risa says, I always say hamburger versus hot dog way. Amazing. Never too old to use hamburger and hot dog. Okay, so now we've made our line. Now we can start drawing the outline of our dolls. Okay, so just like we have this one here, we can follow the shape of this doll, just like we had in our examples too. If you remember the shape of these dolls, we can think about the shape there. Okay. So we sort of have a shape for the head up here, and then we can go around. So we can almost go like that if we were to outline this, okay? So using our dolls, our example dolls as inspiration, we are going to make our very first one, our outline of our very first doll. Okay, we made the outline of our very first doll. Now, you can go right up to the line, you can go a little bit under it like I did. All we need that line for is to make sure that we guide so that they'll all be able to fit inside one another. Because this one is going to be the biggest, and then you guessed it, our next one is going to be a little bit smaller, and then our next one is going to be even smaller, and then our next one is going to be even smaller, and you get the idea. And Daria has 37 first cousins, so she is going to have a lot of dolls to make. She might be sitting there all night making her dolls. So we are just going to continue. And do they have to be perfectly shaped? No, of course not. All right, so I am on to my third doll, and see how I'm just making them a little bit smaller than the one before? So I have two, I want two more because I said that there's 5 people in my family. Oh, this one ended up being really funny looking, but that's okay. It's the middle child. Okay. So now I have, hi Linda. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, so now we have our 5 dolls. You guessed it. Now we are going to cut them out. Now let's just find our scissors. Let's start with that. Where? Oh, there they are. Okay. So now that we have found our scissors, we've located our scissors, very good. We're not going to quite cut them out yet because I think it would be maybe easier if we drew our designs before we cut them out. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Probably easier. So like I said, I'm going to do birds. But you can do your family members, you can do your favorite cartoon, you could do... So I'm gonna start with the smallest one. I'm gonna make a little chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Just like that. That's how easily. Just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, the next one, maybe I'll do a gray stork. So I'm just gonna color it gray. I'm gonna put some eyeballs. And storks, if you've ever seen them, they've got long beaks, right? Now, Ivana, the eldest, she's gonna be a wise owl. So she's gonna be a wise owl. Just like that. And a little beak. Okay. Mama's gonna be a penguin. A beautiful, beautiful penguin. What color beaks do penguins have? I guess it depends on which penguin it is. We're gonna do one like that. Okay. And Tata is going to be a crow, or a crow. He's gonna be a crow. Because he loves crows. Especially in the mornings. There we go. So we have our 5. We've got our 5 dolls. So next step, you guessed it, we're going to cut them out. And the reason we folded it in half is so that we have 2. So you can actually, once you cut them out, you can actually do the back side too. Okay, so now we're just going to cut them out. And I'm not going to do all of them, I'm just going to do 2 of them to show you an example. Okay, now we have our penguin. Beautiful penguin. So we might just stay there. If we have time, I'll cut the rest out. Okay, so now we have... See how because we folded it, now we have 2 versions of them? There we go. All right. So now, with either tape or a stapler, I'll put an example of both. I'm going to staple the sides, so you won't be able to see this, but there we go. Okay, so I put a staple right there. That's one side, and that's going to hold them together, okay? Then I'm going to put another staple right across from it on the other side. Right there. So now I have one staple there and one staple there. And the reason being is because now you can open that up. You might want to draw the other side right there, because this one, that has our crow on it. All right. And now you can put it on your finger. How cool is that? And now you can do a little puppet show for your family or your simia. Okay, I'm going to make an example of the tape because the tape, some people have only tape at home. Okay, so you can do the exact same idea. You're just going to put it on one side. And that's one side taped. And now we're gonna do the other side. Same idea, we're gonna open up at the bottom there. Gonna open up at the bottom, see how they're taped together? Oh, this is gonna be tricky because can't really see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now at the bottom, oh my goodness. So now we have 2 of our very own Matrushka dolls. And the best part about this, when you're doing your puppet show, you can even go like this. Goodbye. So when you reveal a new character, like that, I don't know if you can see that. When you reveal a new character, there you go. All right, so we have, maybe we can even get them to stand up. There we go. So you don't even have to put them on your fingers. You can also make a little play or a little show for your family. And they stand up. You just have to make sure that you fold open the bottom. Pretty cool. And that's how easily. So the reason I said you could also use paint is because you can also use paint. You don't have to use markers. The only thing is you're just going to have to wait a little bit for that paint to dry, right? So that mama and tata or dad don't get upset with paint being everywhere. Okay, here's another one. Here we go. There we go. So easy, so fun. Oh my goodness, we are almost at time. Just whips by. Time flies when you're having fun. We're still drawing. Luca is a perfectionist. Luca is a few weeks old. Okay, so I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. It has been an absolute blast. Please join us next week. We've got another exciting craft. Stay tuned on our social media to find out a little bit more. I hear that it might be Pisanka related, or it might be diorama related. But make sure you take a look at our social media, at our Instagram for the supply list. And please make sure that you get your parents to post photos of your amazing work and just tag us at Arts on the Ave. Make sure you show off what you've done. I want to see what you are creating. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching today. I want to say thank you to Zach for moderating. He's maybe at the Carrot or at home, but he's somewhere and he's been helping us dearly with this project. So thank you, Zach. You're amazing. And it wouldn't be Art Kolo without plugging the next Art Kolo. So this Saturday, we are going to be the most amazing storyteller in the entire world. Hanya Tarasyuk made a story called Anton's Keptar. And Keptar is a vest, just like you can see here in this photo. And we are going to be making our very own Anton's Keptar. We're going to be making our very own Keptars or vests this Saturday in person near the Nina Haggerty, right beside the jelly beans. And if you are wondering, oh, Sophia, I want to learn how to make a Keptar, but I don't live in Edmonton. Don't worry, I'm going to be posting a how-to. I've just decided that I'm going to be posting a how to make this amazing and fun Keptar, because you just can't miss out on the activity. It's just so fun. It's just so fun. So if you can't come in person, please do come and take a look at our social media and everything, all the above. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to Shevchenko Foundation, and thank you to my family for being subjects in all of my work and my stories. And I appreciate you all for coming.